Isn't that beautiful? Yes. Thank you. Give it up for the Unity, the Gulfport Unity Voices, the J9, everything. Awesome. Okay. And the sun is cooperating, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful day. When we first saw this space, and Cindy and I came out here and we were looking at this space, and she said, "Well, do you think this might be suitable for a service?" We said, "We can't wait to have a service out here with the Boca Ciega Bay in the background," and here we are. Here we are doing it, having it, yeah, on the spring equinox. So what is the spring equinox all about? Why do we celebrate? It's about new beginnings and nature's renewal, and an opportunity for us to renew ourselves with spirit. The spring equinox is a welcoming of the sun after winter for many people. You know, down here in Florida, we have a little bit of that winter, didn't we? We did this year, didn't we? And life-giving nurture to the land for all that we plant and grow, not only in the ground, but within ourselves. It's about the birth of the baby, the hatching of the egg, the seedling coming to fruition. That's what we're celebrating. The turning of the wheel of the year and changing of the seasons. And spring is all about life and rebirth and full potential of all that is possible. Our flower maidens gifted you with a flower today to symbolize the beauty and the possibility of this day. The spring equinox actually, technically, is today at 11:33 a.m. here, Eastern Time. So it will actually be while we're here in service. Isn't that awesome? New beginnings in nature's renewal have been celebrated around the world since time began by many cultures and many traditions, religions, and just cultures. The spring equinox falls at that precise day and that precise time when there is equal day and equal night. Some people say you can balance an egg, but the scientists have proven you can balance an egg any day. So it's not that. And it's when the sun is directly over the equator. And it's equal day, equal night. And the Mayans, down there in South America, they built a huge pyramid in about 100 AD. They built that pyramid with all those steps leading up to the top. Have any of you ever climbed up a Mayan pyramid? Those steps get narrow, don't they? I went up there and they had this big rope down there. You know, they had this big rope hanging down the middle of the steps, and I thought, I wonder what that rope's for. Well, when I got about halfway up, I realized what that rope's for. I was like turning my feet this way because those steps got more narrow, and I was hanging that rope going up those steps like this to the top. Yeah. But on the spring equinox, that temple, as the sun plays on the steps of that temple, it looks like a snake slithering down the steps. And the Mayans call it the return of the birth of the serpent of the sun each year. And they celebrate it on the spring equinox. And you know, over in Ireland, there are so many monuments that are built to honor the sun on different days of the year, so that the sun comes through this little bitty portal to shine all its light places, because it's the point of perfect balance in the wheel of the year. And as the wheel turns, we're in a constant flow of balance and harmony of day and night as we go forward until the summer solstice. So from this day forward, the days will get longer and longer until we reach the summer solstice and the longest day of the year. The Celtic people celebrated Ostara on the spring equinox. Ostara is the name of a Germanic goddess that celebrated the dawn and celebrated fertility. And some people called her Esther, and some people called her Ostara. And it's from that name Ostara that the Christian tradition finds the name for Easter. So almost all of the traditional Christian holidays come from an earth-based religion celebration. So over the centuries, the hair of Ostara became the Easter bunny. for Christians and secular celebrations with children as the bringer of Easter eggs. And the Easter bunny became the Christian symbol of rebirth and resurrection with the egg. To some, the egg is a perfect container. The yellow yolk represents the sun, and the white represents the moon, and therefore it represents both masculine and feminine energy, all in one little package in that little shell. So it's in that perfect little container. There's a traditional folk story in Europe to explain the importance of the hare that became the Easter bunny on Easter, and the egg, and why the Easter bunny brings colored eggs to children. So there was a celebration and all the animals in the forest. So all of these traditions were at one time brought down only by oral storytelling. And it depended on, generation after generation sharing these oral stories. So here we go. So there was a big gathering in the forest, and all the animals were so excited. They were so at Twitter. They were just so excited because the goddess was coming to visit them. The goddess was coming to visit. The goddess is coming. The goddess is coming. Ostera is coming to visit us. And so everybody decided, we all had to have gifts for Ostera. Now, some of the animals were very rich, and some were very poor. Some lived with an abundance, and some lived with very little. So all the animals scurried off to create their gift for the goddess. And Hare hopped back to his burrow and looked for a gift that would be befitting of the goddess. And he felt he had nothing. He had no gift that was good enough to give to the goddess. And he opened up his larder, and he had one egg. And he said, this egg is perfect. This egg, I will make this egg so special, and it will be my gift to the goddess. So he decorated the egg with the finest things he could find. He colored it, and he decorated it, and he wrote on it. And the hare was so proud of his egg. So he scurries back, and here's the gathering, and here comes the goddess. And everybody says, the goddess is coming, the goddess is coming. And so the hare has his gift. And then as he watches the other animals come forward with their gifts of gold and silver and jewels and all these wonderful gifts, he kept shrinking back because he knew all he had was an egg. And he felt like it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. So everybody went, and Hare was left. And he couldn't not give the goddess anything. So he thought, I have to give the goddess this egg I've prepared. And he was so proud of it when he came in. And now he was thinking it was so not worthy. So he hopped up to the goddess, and she looked in his eyes. And in that moment, she knew the gift he gave was all he had. And she honored the hare. And the hare became a special envoy of the goddess from that day forward. Because from the love of his heart, he gave all that he had to give. And the goddess treasured that gift above all others. So even today, the Easter bunny hops around bringing children eggs to share with them the gift of sharing from love and sharing from themselves. So that's what we teach children with the Easter eggs. It's not just a hunt to scurry around. It's that we are giving this gift. We take the time and the energy to color them, to decorate them, for the children to have this gift. And it becomes a very special gift. So I say, celebrate the spring equinox. Celebrate it with all you have and all you are. Put all your love into it. Celebrate this spring equinox, because in a few minutes I'm going to talk to you about planting your dreams. Right now, right here in this spring equinox. And give your gifts from your heart and celebrate this time that is a time of renewal and a time of resurrection and a time of seedlings coming up out of the earth. Thank you.